I'm on my way to investigate a creature plague of biblical proportion. In 1993, rural South Australia was engulfed by hordes of vermin. People were driven from their homes and farms laid to waste as mice in their millions ravaged the countryside. I'll track down eyewitnesses.
Here we are, this is the mice.
Oh, they're in my feet.
Unbelievable.
And I'd never seen anything ever like that in my life.
Thousands upon thousands is what happened.
In the hospital, they were running up and down the curtains.
The mice would attack the pigs and eat their flesh.
And enlist the help of scientific experts.
Heard the expression breed like rabbits? It should be breed like mice.
Okay.
Once the mice get away, they get ahead of the predators and they get ahead of the diseases.
They will literally eat anything. So unless you're fast moving,
Yeah.
they will start trying to chew you. So, you know, if you're a terrestrial animal,
Yeah.
you better get out of their way.
My mission, to discover what caused this truly terrifying phenomenon. Hey, look, oh my God, look. I'm starting my investigation on the border between South Australia and Victoria, in the peaceful rural community of Pineroo. In 1993, this was the epicenter of the most devastating mouse plague on record.
Continue 24 kilometres.
And I've tracked down my first eyewitnesses to a property on the outskirts of town. Their farm lies about 18 kilometres outside of Pineroo, and I'm pretty intrigued, actually, to hear their story. Between June and November of 1993, the 16,000-acre property on which Steve and Anne Venning were living with their baby daughter was engulfed by mice. And Binga Piggeroos. Oh, no, it looks nice. Big farmhouse.
Stephen.
Hey, Stephen. It's lovely. Very nice.
Hello, welcome to my humble abode.
Thanks, Stephen.
This is my wife, Anne.
Lovely to meet you. Hi, Anne. I've read reports that at the height of the plague, Anne and Steve were trapping over 20,000 mice a day. There's obviously a mouse in a trap down here. Am I sensing that this is just making sure this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, we're trying to protect what's ours.
So, Anne, at the time it happened, were you surprised?
Well, I mean, at the start it was just, oh, yay, we're emptying mouse traps. And then you were just doing it more and more and more and more until pretty well that's all you were doing. Each bucket that we were doing, our size buckets, roughly held 1,000 mice. So we were emptying between 20 and 30 buckets a day. I just didn't understand how the mice just built up and built up and built up, and in such a short time. It didn't go from 1 to, you know, millions over 6 months. It crept up really quickly. It's horrific. And I'd never seen anything ever like that in my life.
Then, Steve shows me shocking hard evidence of the plague that hit their farm.
Here, this is part of our farm. Hundreds of little everywhere.
Unbelievable. I mean, it looks like millions.
Well, if you condense it all together, it would be.
Over the entire farm. That's insane.
Yeah, that's only in small areas.
So you'd pick up something off the ground and then they'd just all be underneath, right? That's horrendous, isn't it?
What really, really topped it off was we just put our crops in the ground, and the mice, when they get really big numbers, they're desperate for food, they'll go along and they'll pick the seeds out of the ground where the seeder had just put the seeds in.
Just after you've sown.
So therefore you get no crop to germinate.
But it's when Steve shows me footage of Anne checking on the pig pens late one night that the scale of the plague becomes clear to me. Unbelievable. That is insane. I've never seen so many mice in my life. It is just like a wave of mice coming over the doorstep. It's unbelievable.
And they just kept going and going for a good 5-6 minutes like that.
What? When you went in, what was your reaction?
I was pretty frightened, actually, because I'm thinking, if this is at night and they were always here, then at night time they're always in the house as well.
But worse than the numbers of the mice is Anne's horrifying account of the behaviour they displayed.
The mice would attack the pigs and eat their flesh.
They'd eat the pig's flesh, so they're all taking bites?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
All it takes is a nick in an animal, or, as we proved myself, the mouse will chew on that nick and just keep digging and digging.
Wait a minute, you said as you proved yourself. What did you mean by that?
Well, one night I had a scratch on my leg, and I'd woken up and said to Steve, something's biting me, and he said, oh, look, it's probably bed bugs. In the end, I got up in the morning and I had a hole the size of my thumbnail gouged into my leg. Yes, I was being eaten while we were sleeping.
That's unbelievable. So this is not just a case of mice on the farms sort of destroying crops, and in your case destroying or starting to sort of take a bite out of pigs as well. This is actually invading your own home as well.
That's right, yeah.
From my initial research, I know that mice are notorious for their voracious appetites. Eating around 15 to 20 times a day, they will always build their homes near a readily accessible food source. And though they prefer seeds and grain, they won't hesitate to sample anything they find around them. But this is the first I've heard of mice attacking another living animal.
It ended up the house was exactly like the piggery, just like the waterfall. Every floor was just moving. Courtney was only, I don't know, 9 months old, so we had her caught up in cans of water and trying to keep them away from her while she slept, because clearly she couldn't hop in with us because then she would be chewed on at night as well.
I've never heard of mice behaving like this in relation to people. I know they can pose a real threat to health. With no bladder control, they trail urine wherever they walk and pass up to 80 droppings a day. Worse still, they can carry over 35 transmittable diseases. But I wasn't aware that they could cause physical injury in this way. That's horrendous, isn't it?
The day we found Courtney with the mouse trap in her hand, and the mouse had a hole through its head where another mouse had eaten that, and her tongue was through that hole. That was it.
Your 8-month-old?
9-month-old.
9-month-old daughter had her tongue through a mouse's
the hole of
head.
her head. If it had kept going, I wouldn't have been able to go much longer. Physically, mentally, everything. We were at the end.
This was the last straw for the Venning family. They abandoned their farm and demolished their home, forced out by the infestation, only returning to the property after a government extermination program successfully eradicated the mice. Nice to see you.
Good on you, buddy.
See you, Steve. Yeah, take care, mate.